drama continues between Dalton's mayor and the village's board of trustees after multiple members did not attend tonight's monthly meeting.
The Tiffany Henyard saga has spiraled into a full-blown controversy, with pressure mounting as more people demand justice. Many are left wondering why she hasn't been arrested yet, as the drama intensifies with shady deals and dark secrets emerging from every direction. But things have now taken a shocking turn. Her own lawyer has turned against her in a highly explosive meeting, revealing bombshell information that stunned everyone in the room. This wasn't just a routine legal discussion. It marked a pivotal moment in the saga, one that could alter her fate forever. The lawyer didn't hold back, exposing startling secrets that threatened to dismantle Henyard's carefully crafted public image and put her at risk of facing legal consequences she has long evaded. The confession revealed under-the-table deals, questionable actions, and unethical behavior that paint her in a far darker light than anyone had anticipated for months. There has been growing disbelief among her followers, who can't fathom how someone so clearly caught up in scandal could still be free. Despite all the damning evidence coming to light, one burning question remains. Why hasn't Tiffany Henyard been arrested? How is she still walking free when so many secrets have been exposed, her lawyer's betrayal unveiled, just how deep the corruption goes? And it's clear there are more layers to this web of deceit than anyone could have imagined. With the public demanding answers and the legal system now forced to confront the scale of the situation, it's hard to ignore the possibility that her entire world could come crashing down at any moment. Her continued freedom raises even more suspicions. Are powerful allies protecting her, or is the system simply too broken to act? As more details surface, it seems her time in the public eye may soon be over. The question remains, can Tiffany Henyard keep evading justice, or is the truth finally catching up with her? With the stakes higher than ever, the walls are closing in, and what was once an untouchable figure may soon become a cautionary tale about how even the most powerful can fall when their secrets are exposed.
Jump and shoot, I never was on the shoot, the jump and shoot. Always been.
Dramatic meeting in Dalton leads to even more controversy, this time over a new hire.
Not only did Mayor Tiffany Henyard make the hire without consent from the board, we're learning tonight the newest employee.
There is now undeniable evidence that Tiffany Henyard has enlisted the help of two criminal defense attorneys with a reputation for handling high-profile cases, including some of the most notorious legal battles in the country. While hiring a strong defense team is generally a wise move in the face of serious allegations, many have raised eyebrows at the caliber of lawyers Henyard has chosen, especially since she has consistently maintained her innocence. The decision to bring in such high-powered and controversial figures has sparked widespread speculation about why she would need such an aggressive legal team if, in fact, she truly has nothing to hide. One of the attorneys she hired, Brindley, is particularly notorious. He gained national attention for his defense of R. Kelly's former manager, who faced severe allegations of illicit activities and witness tampering. Although Brindley managed to secure an acquittal for his client, his defense strategies were widely criticized for being highly unethical, often blurring the lines of acceptable legal practice. Over the years, numerous claims have surfaced that Brindley employed illegal tactics, such as coaching witnesses to lie, tampering with evidence, and even bribing officials to secure favorable verdicts. While these methods were undeniably effective in some instances, they raised serious ethical concerns and cast a long shadow over his career. The controversy surrounding Brindley reached a peak in September 2015, when he was hit with 21 federal charges, including conspiracy and obstruction of justice. These charges stem from 6 separate cases in which he had served as a defense attorney. Prosecutors accused him of engaging in unethical behavior, including improper witness coaching and manipulation of evidence. The legal battle that ensued was long and contentious, and although Brindley was ultimately cleared of the charges, the case severely damaged his reputation and left many questioning his integrity. Despite this, Brindley's career has continued. Although it remains deeply tarnished, it wasn't just Brindley's courtroom conduct that raised alarms. His behavior outside the courtroom has also been called into question. Several former clients have accused him of fraud, claiming they paid hefty fees for his services but received little to no results. These clients allege that Brindley mishandled or abandoned their cases, failing to conduct proper evaluations or live up to his promises. Many of these disgruntled clients have accused him of cheating them out of their money, leaving them feeling deceived and abandoned. As these grievances accumulated over time, Brindley's reputation became further damaged and his practices became increasingly scrutinized. Yet, Despite his controversial history, Henyard chose to trust him with her defense. Henyard's decision to bring Brinley and another attorney, Ed McDavid, to a public meeting in Dalton only fueled the controversy surrounding her case. What was initially expected to be a serious discussion of her mounting legal troubles quickly devolved into a bizarre and confrontational spectacle. Rather than addressing the urgent legal issues at hand, Brinley and McDavid launched into an impassioned defense of Henyard, attempting to shift the blame for the ongoing unrest in the village onto others. Brinley, in particular, made a number of audacious claims that left the crowd in disbelief, many of which were quickly criticized for being false or misleading. One of his most notable and heavily scrutinized assertions was his attempt to paint Henyard as the sole victim in the entire situation. He portrayed her as the target of a coordinated smear campaign, accusing various trustees and officials of orchestrating a deliberate effort to tarnish her reputation. This defense strategy was widely seen as deeply flawed and, in some cases, completely unfounded. Brinley's attempt to deflect blame onto others was perceived by many as an attempt to distort the narrative and manipulate the situation in Henyard's favor, ignoring the broader picture of public outrage and mounting evidence against her. The claims that the trustees were responsible for the unrest were viewed as an oversimplification of the complex issues at play. Many observers questioned whether Brinley was simply trying to distract from Henyard's own involvement in the controversy. Instead of offering meaningful insights or new information to clarify her position, his statement seemed more like an effort to discredit the very people who were raising legitimate concerns. McDavid, while supporting Brinley's stance, failed to provide any significant details or help illuminate the key issues at hand. The meeting left many of those in attendance questioning the motives behind the defense team's actions. Was this approach truly in Henyard's best interest, or was it merely a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the serious charges against her? The audacity of their statements only deepened the mystery surrounding Henyard's case, and it became clear that her legal team, despite its high skill level, was willing to take extreme measures to protect her. However, as the number of allegations against Henyard grows, it remains uncertain whether the strategy will ultimately succeed in the long run. While Brinley's tactics may have worked in past high-profile cases, his controversial history casts a shadow over his current defense efforts. The more he and McDavid attempt to divert attention from the allegations, the more their credibility is questioned. It's clear that Henyard's legal battle is far from over, and with the stakes continuing to rise, the true cost of these high-profile defense strategies remains to be seen. The question that remains is whether their aggressive tactics can ultimately save Henyard, or whether the mounting public outrage and mounting evidence will finally bring her to justice.
The scheduled Board of Trustees meeting was canceled because there weren't enough trustees present. But Mayor Tiffany Henyard still showed up and appointed a new village administrator and a new...
Tiffany Henyard's legal troubles have deepened significantly, with a series of contentious actions and accusations mounting against her, despite the efforts of her criminal defense team to protect her. One of the more glaring issues emerged when Brinley, one of Henyard's attorneys, claimed that the board lacked the authority to call meetings and misrepresented the requirements of the Open Meetings Act. He stated that a 10-day notice was required to cancel a meeting, but in reality, the act only mandates such notice when a public body changes the schedule of its regular meetings. Not when canceling a single session. The situation escalated further when Brinley made the audacious accusation that the board was responsible for Henyard's appointment of Keith Freeman as village administrator. However, video evidence contradicted this claim, showing that while a motion to approve Freeman's appointment was made, it was not seconded, meaning it failed. Despite this, Henyard proceeded with the appointment, disregarding the board's clear disapproval. Brinley also misrepresented Jason House's authority to sign checks, claiming he lacked such power. However, both the Cobb County Circuit Court and village rules clearly indicate that House was, in fact, authorized to sign checks. These inaccuracies and misrepresentations raise serious questions about whether Henyard's defense team is focused on addressing the core legal issues at hand or merely deflecting blame. Instead of offering a substantial defense against the mounting accusations, Brinley claimed that Henyard's personal lawyer could halt specific actions, misleadingly suggesting that only the courts, not her attorneys, have the power to make those decisions. This led to growing concerns about the true effectiveness of Henyard's legal representation. Are her lawyers genuinely working to resolve the situation, or are they simply engaging in a public relations effort to protect their client at all costs? Henyard herself did not attend the meeting where Brinley and McDavid made their claims, but the village board continued to work without her, meeting at the field house to discuss Dalton's finances. The absence of Henyard, coupled with increasing public criticism, painted a picture of a leadership vacuum in Dalton during this meeting. Stanley Brown, a board member and ally of Henyard, made a public appearance, but his actions were met with skepticism. According to Brown, some residents encouraged him to attend, while others advised against it, fearing his presence might further fuel tensions. This meeting occurred just a week after Henyard attempted to call an unofficial meeting without a quorum, where she named a new village attorney and administrator, moves that were immediately dismissed as unauthorized. Trustee Jason House was quick to reject Henyard's actions, calling the meeting unofficial and pointing out that the appointments were not approved by the board, further exposing the disarray and lack of coordination within the village's leadership. The continued operations of the village board without Henyard only added to the sense that her authority was rapidly eroding. Many questioned whether she was truly in control of Dalton's governance. As legal pressure mounted and public criticism intensified, Henyard's defense lawyers seemed more focused on assigning blame to others than addressing the growing allegations against her. With her ability to lead increasingly in doubt, Dalton found itself grappling with a leadership crisis that showed no signs of abating. Henyard's political future now hangs in the balance. The more her legal team tries to shield her, the more questions arise that they seem unable to answer. As the community continues to deal with the fallout from her controversial actions, the residents of Dalton are left wondering whether Henyard's time in office is coming to an end amid the ongoing scandal. The town's political future remains uncertain. While the village trustees work to resolve their community's financial dilemma, at a recent trustees meeting, a number of significant topics were discussed, including the municipality's financial crisis and potential layoffs. The village is struggling financially, and Tiffany Henyard, as the mayor, has been at the center of several scandals in recent months. These scandals, ranging from financial mismanagement to accusations of personal misconduct, have drawn the attention of political observers and the people of Dalton, leading many to question Henyard's leadership. Her actions and legal defense are under increasing scrutiny, casting doubt on her ability to continue running the town. One of the main points raised during the meeting was a disagreement with the village's bank, which issued a 60-day notice because of signature discrepancies. The bank stepped in when Henyard allegedly refused to sign numerous checks totaling millions of dollars in response to claims of misuse of village finances. In addition to these financial concerns, the trustees temporarily halted paying for employees and elected officials' meals and travel expenses, seeking to address the fiscal mismanagement at play. While the trustees were away, residents voiced their disapproval of Henyard's leadership and called for her dismissal. They also approved a temporary ban on travel and food reimbursements, altered the requirements for check signatures, and issued 18 company licenses that had been suspended under Henyard's administration. Among other significant decisions made during the meeting, the board finalized a new firefighter contract through 2027, placing blame on Henyard's previous leadership failures. Further complicating matters, Lee Lacey, the deputy police chief, is facing federal bankruptcy fraud charges, adding to the growing legal troubles surrounding Henyard's administration. Many of the residents attending the meeting expressed their annoyance with Henyard's absence and leadership style, making her influence and presence even more noticeable. One of the major issues with Henyard's administration is her alleged financial mismanagement. Critics claim that she has mismanaged public funds, leading to a significant budget deficit that is much higher than initially reported. Henyard's administration has further eroded public trust by refusing to disclose spending information, in violation of state transparency regulations. Many residents and trustees have demanded greater accountability from the mayor's office, while Henyard acknowledged a $2 million budget gap. Many trustees believe the true deficit is much higher. Henyard's alleged extravagant spending has only exacerbated the village's financial issues. The vice president disclosed that between July and November 2023, Henyard and her administration spent tens of thousands of dollars on extravagant purchases, including high-end meals, a personal shopping spree, and first-class flights. One of the most egregious examples of wasteful spending was a 5-day trip to Austin, Texas, where Henyard and her top aide spent over $220,000 in taxpayer funds. The invoices revealed purchases of sports riding apparel, upscale dining establishments, and luxurious hotel stays. These expenses have infuriated residents, who question Henyard's ability to prudently oversee public funds, particularly amid the ongoing financial crisis. Financial scandals have only heightened worries about Henyard's leadership. Critics point to her extravagant spending habits, budget imbalances, and failure to address local business licensing issues. 1. Such business. Lawrence Gardner's trucking company was accused by the town of selling alcohol without a permit. Gardner has denied these claims and won a case in his favor, suggesting that Henyard's administration may have singled him out for other reasons, particularly because shortly after Henyard took office, local business owners were asked to donate $3,500 to the village. Gardner's allegations are just one of many that have cast a shadow over the administration at a recent village board meeting. Henyard remained obstinate and accused her critics of politically attacking her, dismissing the charges against her as part of a smear campaign. She continued to maintain that the accusations were politically motivated, despite mounting evidence of mismanagement and failure to address Dalton's financial issues. While Henyard downplayed the seriousness of the budget deficit, her choice to host an $85,000 party for the Taste of Thornton Township event amid severe budget cuts has further infuriated residents. Critics accuse Henyard of using public funds to boost her personal reputation. The event, which cost $50,000, featured performances by R&B singer Keisha Cole and rapper Jay, but critics like former Dalton trustee Valeria Stubbs criticized the event as a failure, noting that only about 70 people showed up. Since January 2023, it was discovered that Henyard and her team had already charged over $667,000 to township credit cards for out-of-town travel, including trips to New York, Atlanta, and Portland. The Henyard administration is now under investigation for allegedly misusing public funds for private benefits. This raises even further concerns regarding her use of taxpayer dollars and the potential for fraud. Her inner circle has also been impacted by the mounting scandals surrounding Henyard. The administration is currently facing a civil lawsuit involving allegations of sexual assault during a work trip to Las Vegas. The lawsuit, filed in April 2024, names both Henyard and a village trustee as defendants. The plaintiff, a former assistant, claims she was drugged and assaulted after a dinner with the trustee. Despite federal prosecutors accusing Keith Freeman of bankruptcy fraud, Henyard's top aide has maintained his innocence. Officer Brian Miles, a member of Henyard's $1 million security team, has filed a separate complaint, further complicating the case. Despite these allegations and the growing number of court cases, Henyard continues to defend her actions. She argues that she is the target of a political attack and claims that the trustee boasted about the assault during a FaceTime chat. The controversy surrounding Henyard's administration has been intensified by her hiring of notorious lawyer Bo Brindley, who has defended high-profile clients like R. Kelly's former manager. Given Brindley's questionable legal tactics and past involvement in the Henyard scandals, many citizens are wondering if her tenure as mayor is coming to an end. Cases of witness tampering and fraud have raised significant concerns about the defense Henyard is preparing to present. There is strong public opposition to Henyard's leadership, with many residents and political observers calling for her removal from office. The Dalton incident serves as a warning about what can happen when public leaders are not held accountable for their actions. The village trustees have already begun taking steps to limit her authority, and the ongoing legal disputes will likely only increase the pressure on her administration to be held accountable for the misappropriation of public funds and ultimately resign. What do you think about Henyard's behavior and the ongoing issues surrounding her? Her time as mayor has been marked by contention, and as more details about the financial and legal problems facing her administration continue to come to light, her leadership's future remains uncertain. Does the story have more to it, or has she resigned? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the notification and like buttons to receive more information on this developing subject.